This is KHQA News at 6, working for you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for KHQA News at 6. I'm Raja Maples. We have breaking news out of Quincy, where we begin tonight with new information in the Curtis Lovelace murder trial, where a verdict is now in the hands of a jury. KHQA's Jenny Dreisler has been at the Adams County Courthouse in Quincy. And Jenny, what can you tell us?
Hey Raja, I'm still live here up on the second floor of the Adams County Courthouse. Now I'm going to take you this way, show you a little bit kind of what the situation is right now. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to be walking right through these doors here. This is the doorway into the courtroom. We were told about 40 minutes ago that the jury did have a question still at this point. I don't even know what that question is. Nobody does. We're going to be heading through those doors right there. The jury is going to discuss with both sides of counsel as well as Judge Hardwick what their question is, then go back in, deliberate, and finish up what they're doing. Now, we were waiting for Curtis Lovelace's family to get here. They just walked through these doors right here, hanging out in the witness room right here until we do get back in. We don't exactly know what the holdup is, but we do expect to be inside those courtroom doors here in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. Find out what this jury's question is, and then I'll let you guys know when I have the very latest. As usual, always follow me on my Twitter account or my Facebook page. Back to you, Raja.
Thank you, Jenny. Well, now a KHQA exclusive interview with Curtis Lovelace's oldest daughter tonight. Lindsay Lovelace sits down with KHQA's Jenny Dreisler, and she opens up about her mother Corey's death, the family divide, and her relationship with her siblings.
This has been a long trial. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, mostly because of the support system that I've had behind this. I don't think I would be able to handle everything without them. When I want to cry, when I just don't know what to do, I can talk to them. If I just want to talk about my mom, they're there.
Is there one memory in particular you remember most about Corey?
Dancing around in the kitchen to ABBA. I still listen to them just because of that, but we would just have girl moments and just dance around and sing and Dancing Queen and doing all that, and I think I listen to them because it still brings me so much joy from that. She was a real person. She was a beautiful person. She shouldn't be labeled because of this. Having her looked at in the limelight now is almost hard because she is not being seen as the person that she was.
What were you feeling the day that you testified?
I think it was just a matter of, wow, everyone's looking at me right now and they're listening to every word I have to say, and it's just, with not remembering, it's just terrifying because they're all wanting you to.
You have to differentiate, do I really remember that, or do I really remember what somebody told me I should have remembered?
It's almost frustrating not to remember because you want to, but in the end, if you can't, you can't remember. So you just have to say that and stay true to your words and just say, I'm sorry, like it was 10 years ago.
And that's the first time in a long time that you've seen your brothers.
Yeah, that was hard. Not to have each other's support, because we've always been a very close relationship between the four of us, and to not be able to protect them the way I would and not be the big sister that I want to be for them.
You've also had every single detail rehashed out in court, out for the open for everyone to see.
It's almost like losing her again. I feel like at the age of 12 I had to figure out how to deal with everything. And even at the age of 22, I still have no idea how to do it, and I'm just losing her all over again.
There have been autopsy photos, there have been scene photos. You don't want to see those photos.
I see my mother as the beautiful smiling woman that she was, and I don't want to look at those pictures because I don't want them to get embedded in my mind and take away that beautiful picture of her.
Do you go visit her? Do you talk to her?
Yes, I do, actually, most of the time when I'm back, and I'll actually have friends who are like, hey, we're gonna go visit your mom today. And so they will drive me out to make sure that I'm still going, because sometimes it is hard to be like, okay, I am 22 years old and I'm gonna go visit my mother in some place most people don't want to visit.
What would she say to you to help you get through this?
Don't let it overcome you. Power through it and stay strong, and I think that's where my motivation of be a survivor, and they always say that it gets easier, and it doesn't. And I would never tell anyone that because I've always waited, is it going to get easier? There are days where you don't even want to get out of bed, and then I think about her and I think about what would mom want me to do right now, and go to class. Do your day like you would. And so that is a huge motivation of, okay, get out and be you. Don't let it overcome you.
If it is a conviction or if he's found innocent, have you really mentally
have you prepared for that?
I think there's no way to prepare for any of this. Every day is just a new day, and you just go through it emotionally and you figure out how to deal with it. I don't know if the forgive is in my mindset, but I think it's more of moving on and moving forward with my life. I'm 22, going to be starting work soon, graduating college, so I just have to make sure I keep myself in mind and make sure I'm going forward with my hopes and dreams.
Well, Lindsley was just 12 years old when her mother died on Valentine's Day in 2006.
Now, your 7 Storm Team first forecast.
All right, we're taking a look at the radar and satellite picture where we've got some cloud cover showing up on portions of Iowa headed down into the tri-states. Not a whole lot of cloud cover. There's just some thin high clouds out there right now. And then as we take a closer look at this, you can see kind of showing up there, we are talking about mostly clear skies for us, and a cold front's going to slide through later tonight, really keep us clear and also knock those temperatures back. We're in the 30s right now, a little bit of a southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That was a little bit breezier earlier this afternoon as winds started to diminish just a bit. 40 degrees is what we did out there today. Tonight falling back in the lower to mid 20s, mostly clear skies. A little chilly out there with a west wind, and that west and northwesterly wind will really be with us a little bit through the day tomorrow. Not really breezy, but you'll notice a little shift in the winds out there after that front passes through, with temperatures starting to warm up into the mid 30s to even upper 30s, close to 40, but the warming trend doesn't stop there. We're going to tell you about how warm it's going to get through the weekend and also our next chance of some snow. That's all coming up, Raja.
Thank you, Jeremy. Well, new at 6 o'clock, a Keokuk chiropractor is found not guilty of inappropriately touching a female patient last June. Dr. Andrew Kearse's trial quickly came to a close because of a lack of witnesses. It took the jury fewer than 30 minutes to reach a verdict. Kearse is still not in the clear. The Iowa Board of Chiropractic launched its own investigation, saying it learned of 6 other women who complained to the Keokuk Police Department about Kearse. New information out of southeast Iowa tonight, where officials still have a close eye on Midwest Academy in Keokuk. Now, this stems from alleged sexual abuse involving a staff member and a former student. Since students are no longer at the school, the academy took a van full of food to a local food pantry. Pastor Sylvia Tillman of God's Way Christian Soup and Kitchen Shelter says the academy delivered that food earlier this week.
The common perception of no snow, big savings may not actually be the case for one local community. I'm Abigail James, and I'll show you how this mild winter is adding up for one tri-state city next on KHQA News at 5.
You're watching KHQA News at 6. Working for you.
We are just moments away from finding out the verdict of the Curtis Loveless murder trial. KHQA's Jenny Dreisler has been at the Adams County Courthouse in Quincy, and she joins us live. Jenny, what can you tell us?
Hey, Raja. I'm still here on the second floor of the Adams County Courthouse. We're in a little bit of a holding pattern right now. What that means is about 45 minutes ago, we were told that the jury had a question. They've been deliberating since 1 o'clock, so about 5 hours now under the gun that they're trying to figure out exactly what happened. But when this happens, when a jury has a question, here's what's going to happen. We're all going to come in through these doors right here, through the courtroom. Judge Hardwick is going to come back in. Both sides of counsel are going to come back in, as well as the jury. The jury will ask their question, get it figured out. We'll know what that question is. So again, right now, I don't know what it is at this point in time. We'll let you know when we do head back out. Then at that point in time, the jury will head back down this hallway down over here to the right and go back down those doors back into the deliberation room. Now, here's the biggest thing that the jury has to decide. This has been a very, very long trial, 2-week-long trial. We kind of broke it down for you. If we can pull up this graphic right now that we had made kind of a flow chart, just making it easier. The jury has to decide between two things. Both the prosecution and the defense has said this trial simply, in its essence, comes down to whether you believe the science or the kids. Now, if you do believe the kids, they said that that would be, the jury would vote not guilty. However, if the jury decides that they believe in the science, the facts of this case through science, then it comes down to whether they believe the prosecution's expert witnesses and pathologists or the defense's expert pathologists. There, if they side with the defense's pathologist, that's a not guilty vote. If they side with the prosecution's pathologist, that would then be a guilty vote. So again, A lot weighing in on this trial. Very back and forth case, especially today, wrapping this up both sides poking significant holes into each other's sides. So, Raja, yeah, we've been here since 1 o'clock. A lot of people asking me, how long do you think this could go? Don't really know at this point in time, but what I can tell you is right now, us waiting on them asking a question is a telltale sign that this could be a signal, an indicator that we could be wrapping up here soon. But again, this does not mean that there is a verdict in place. Again, follow me on my Twitter and my Facebook page, as well as I'll check back in with you guys for the very latest.
Thank you, Jenny. Now you're looking at a picture of the Curtis Lovelace family gathering in prayer. This is a picture of Curtis Lovelace's current wife and sons, along with other family members gathering to pray outside the courtroom. Jenny Dreisler tweeted this, and you can find that on her Twitter account. The jury has been deliberating since 1 o'clock this afternoon. We don't know for sure when a verdict will come in. Well, moving on, even though the blades of snowplows haven't hit the pavement too often this mild winter, it doesn't mean that money won't be spent elsewhere. KHQA's Abigail James joins us live in the studio to tell you why the city of Macomb is looking ahead to what's next on its budget agenda.
Raja, that's right. Some may think that if crews aren't out plowing the cities must be saving money. But today I spoke with Macomb Mayor Mike Inman, who says on the flip side of a mild winter can just be as costly. The mayor says a freeze-thaw cycle during a mild winter can prompt other expenses, things like water main breaks and more potholes than normal come springtime. The city is also obligated to store all of the salt that doesn't get deployed onto the streets, which adds up to costly storage fees.
It's about a 10% savings, roughly $2,200, $2,500 in savings on overtime costs, personnel costs, as it relates to not having to be out there and deal with the snow.
$2,000 to $2,500 that the mayor estimates in savings is out of a $9 million budget, proving that a mild winter doesn't have much of a savings impact for the city. Reporting live in studio, Abigail James, KHQA News.
Thank you, Abigail. Well, a new Hancock County program gives high school students a glimpse at entrepreneurship. The CEO class allows them to network and design their own businesses. It was put together by 16 students enrolled in that class. More than 100 people attended the event, including community members, representatives from nearby counties, parents, and school administrators. There was also a variety of business speakers and investors who sponsored that summit. Super Bowl celebrations will kick off across the country Sunday, but now is the time to start thinking about food safety during your party. The Adams County Health Department wants to remind you to keep your appetizers safe for everyone. Now be sure to stack that refrigerator like a stout 4-3 defense, meats on the bottom and ready-to-eat food on top. Keeping raw and cooked food separate helps to eliminate cross-contamination. Next, be sure to monitor the temperatures of hot foods such as beef and chicken that might have been left out during the party. Don't miss the Super Bowl 50 on KHQA CBS this Sunday starting at 5:30 p.m. Pre-show and coverage airs all day. And don't miss KHQA News following that game. Here's a look ahead to tonight on KHQA News at 10. With healthcare reform and new costs to patients, why do prescription drug prices vary so much from stores? Tune in tonight at 10 to find out what you need to know in order to find the cheapest cost of the same prescriptions.
All right, and we are looking for a little chilly as we go through the overnight hours tonight, but a big warm up in store as we go back into the weekend. Above average temperatures expected and also some snow chances. We'll tell you about that next.
You're watching KHQA News at 6, working for you.
Jury deliberations are underway at the Adams County Courthouse in the Curtis Lovelace murder trial. We're going to check in with KHQA's Jenny Dreisler again live from right outside where the jury is meeting with the very latest. Jenny.
Hey, Raja, a little bit of change in plans here. Actually, just found out a couple of minutes ago. Here's the situation. Originally, we had thought we were going to walk right back through those doors, go into open court, kind of figure out what this question was the jury had. I was just informed, all of us actually were just informed, that they had decided to make it a closed session question for the jury. So I'll tell you what's happening next. Follow me over here in this hallway over here. The jury has now gone back into this room right here down this hallway. If you take a look down that doorway, the jury is now back in that room deliberating, trying to figure out exactly which way this case will go. Again, we thought that we'd be able to get in and figure out what that question is. We have asked what the question was the jury had. They are now deciding not to tell us. So any indication if this means a verdict could come soon, Not quite yet, but again, that is indicative that we could be getting closer. So again, just follow me on my Twitter and my Facebook with the very latest.
Thank you, Jenny. And now let's take a closer look at Jenny Dreisler's Twitter page. You're looking at in just a moment a picture of the Curtis Lovelace family gathering in prayer. Verdict, and we have no idea when it will come in, but we do know the jury has been deliberating since 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now let's send things over to Jeremy Ledford in weather.
Now, your exclusive 7-storm team forecast.
All right, our Sleep Tight weather view taking us to a look at some snow across portions of Nebraska, digging out there. Thankfully, nothing like that here in the Tri-States. We were actually talking about some above average temperatures expected in our forecast. Just how warm will it get? We're going to take a look at that coming up. Right now, though, the almanac shows that we did get up to about 40 degrees for the high temperature, lows back in the teens, so quite the swing with those daytime temperatures. Right now, look up at the live shot at Macomb, the live camera. You can see about 33 is what we're sitting at right now with a south-southwest wind around 6 miles per hour. In just a couple hours, we're going to watch a cold front slide through, and as that happens, we're going to watch the winds shift around a bit coming in out of the northwest. Not going to be any precipitation associated with this cold front, but we will see a little bit of shift in the winds, and it'll get a little chilly out there tonight. We'll take a look at those overnight lows in just a moment. You can see on the radar and satellite picture, mostly clear skies with us right now. We do have just a few kind of off and on clouds pushing through. These are pretty thin clouds out there, so you're probably not even really going to notice them. And then as we get that front through, we'll really clear things out tonight, and again, those temperatures are going to fall back. Right now, we're sitting in the 30s up and down the river, 36 at Fort Madison, about 35 at Jacksonville, 35 also in Pittsfield, 34 degrees. As you step out at Kirksville, southwesterly winds with us right now at 5 to 10 miles per hour, 6 miles per hour at Quincy, 8 miles per hour as you head up towards Keokuk. Again, those are going to shift around a bit as this weak cold front will quickly slide through tonight. We'll get high pressure settling in. That'll clear us out, get us a pretty calm wind out there through the day tomorrow. The high pressure will kind of shift a little bit farther to the south as we go through the day tomorrow. We'll get some south winds drawn in with these as we go through the day tomorrow. Warmer temperatures kind of getting sandwiched here between this warm front and a surface trough out to the west as we go through Friday afternoon and evening. You can see some increase in clouds along this surface trough. We'll maybe see a little bit of precipitation out there, especially to our west. I don't think we're going to see any snow here in the Tri-States as we go into Friday evening, and then that surface trough will push through later Friday into early Saturday, and we'll really start to warm things up heading into the weekend. Above average temperatures expected again, but tonight we have a chilly one out there, 23 degrees, and tomorrow that's when we'll see temperatures similar to where we were today, around 40 degrees, but you can see some of that warmer air to the south. That'll be working in as we go into the weekend. Again, chilly tonight, that west wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly clear, and tomorrow we'll see a little bit of that northwesterly wind. I think 5 to 10 may even be a little too breezy out there, maybe more around 5 miles per hour or less, even with some pretty calm winds out there. And then tomorrow night we'll still have some more clouds rolling back in. And you saw in that forecast in motion some increase in clouds, but the winds will begin to shift around out of the south. And as that happens, the warming trend starts to get in the picture. And as we take a look at the 7-day forecast, you can see that here. 40 tomorrow, 45 Saturday, 48 degrees as we go into Sunday. And then as we get closer through the weekend, we will watch some more increase in clouds, maybe some snow chances as we get into our Monday, and then temperatures fall back into the 30s, 23 on Tuesday, and then we're talking about a temperature around 29 degrees getting into next Wednesday, clearing out, maybe a warm-up by next Thursday.
We have breaking news from the Adams County courtroom where KHQA's Jenny Dreisler has just tweeted that deliberations have been called off for the day, so we will not get a verdict tonight. The jury has been meeting since 1 o'clock this afternoon. Again, the deliberations have been called off for the day. We will bring you more details tomorrow morning right here on KHQA. We'll be right back. You're looking at a live shot outside the Adams County Courthouse where we now know that deliberations have been called off for the day. We will not have a verdict tonight in the Curtis Lovelace murder trial. To give you a little bit of background, the jury has been deliberating since 1 o'clock this afternoon. We do not have a timeline in terms of when that verdict will come in. It could come in tomorrow. It's completely up to jurors. There are 12 jurors that consists of 10 women and 2 men. KHQA's Jenny Dreisler is following this. She's inside the courtroom right now. And just to give you a little bit of background, what's happened within the past hour and a half, the jurors had some questions, at least one question. They were called back into the courtroom and were told that, the media rather, were told we do not know what that question is. So again, deliberations have been called off for the day. Now, here's a look at Curtis Lovelace's current wife and sons along with family. They gathered in prayer outside the courtroom, but it looks like a verdict will not come in the Curtis Lovelace murder trial. Now let's take a look at what's happening outside, Jeremy.
Yeah, we do have temperatures out there that are actually very going to be getting a little chilly as we go through tonight, because we're watching a weak cold front that's going to slide through. And as that happens, temperatures are going to fall back, and we are going to take a look at that in the 7-day forecast coming up in just a bit. We're going to take a look at that after the commercial break. All right, temperatures out there are going to warm up into the 40s as we go through the weekend. A big warm up, maybe some snow chances on Monday. We're going to keep an eye on that for you.
And here's just into the newsroom. Jurors say they want to continue to deliberate through the rest of the night until 9 p.m. However, no verdict is expected in the Curtis Lovelace murder trial. Thanks for joining us, everyone.